Are you still striving and pushing and grinding in the belief that you have to get yourself through hell to earn your heaven place? I've been there, done that, and in a recovery process that actually heaven is unconditional gift. It's not something that you earn, that you get to push yourself through hell to receive that, but just claim it because you worth claiming that unconditional gift, and it doesn't have any conditions and any strings attached to that gift. And to really open yourself to that possibility, it takes practice, and it's a key to start realizing that those challenges that you're facing are actually can lead you to that transformation of experiencing some blessings and miracles, and start seeing that those challenges are those keys to opening the door to that blessing and miracles that are on the way for you. And it's a matter for you to open that door, to unlock that key, and stop living in condition and that striving and pushing environment. And even through the challenge, accepting that challenge, and start believing and recognizing that the challenge is for you, to open that door to the blessing. And sometimes even the bigger challenge, some hopeful words, can actually lead to even bigger blessing and miracle in your daily life. And like I said, it takes practice because we live in conditional world. We've been brought up in a lot of conditions, reward, punishment, and reward systems through our upbringing, through religious beliefs, through different environments that we are associating with, and many of them have some kind of condition, and we somehow inherited that, and in such a deep belief that we keep have to striving, have to pushing ourselves. And even if we experience hell, it will somehow will give us that right to heaven, and we will be rewarded for that. And the reward is there for you to claim it. It's without any attachments, without any conditions, and setting yourself for that, and be open to that with your whole body, mind, heart, and your spirit is required to really experience those powers of those blessings and miracles on a daily basis. And like I said, it takes time because it took time to condition you and ingrain some certain beliefs in you. So it might be even for your mind to get on board. It will take some time to really realize that might be actually a better way to go about it, even from that simple perspective, because it will be confused. It might be the mind will try to protect you because it's something new. So it's questionable. Some other beliefs are more ingrained in your system, in your mind, in your heart, in your body. So introducing something new might be feeling like it's lack of safety. That might be something dangerous and contradictory, that you shouldn't be considering that, and maybe some fear might be rising. And you're not alone with that. Years ago, I felt that way as well when I been like for years didn't know why, but I was questioning certain behaviors of other people, being raised in certain conditional things, being brought in the religious background, that not it didn't feel like everything is in alignment and that there was some kind of missing elements to be kind of questioned in validity and truth of what was kind of shared. But over years, certain beliefs kind of stuck, being in certain environments, like we are saying, you become like an environment when you surrounded by certain people, by certain environment, you somehow start inheriting and putting on yourself certain beliefs. I know about it even through simple words. I've been kind of around some friend from Canada, and we were just having conversation. And in Canada, they seems like using English, but they have some more of a British words, and even a simple word as phone. When in the US we using phone as the thing, and in Canada or possibly in in UK, they saying phone. I'm phoning you instead of calling you. So I caught myself at a certain time that all of a sudden I'm talking to somebody else, and instead of using my "I will call you," I start saying "I will phone you," and that was kind of interesting, and I was laughing at myself that it doesn't take long to actually pick up on certain things when you're surrounding yourself with certain people, with certain environments, and you start acting like the others. So having that more of the conscious and not too much committing to your subconscious and operating from that autopilot, consciously start recognizing those things, and that there is a possibility to claim your unconditional gift of heaven, and finding more of that evidence that will start shifting your beliefs, that will start shifting and your perspectives, that will actually lead you to start shifting your realities, that you will be more ready and open to receive those blessings and miracles in your life. And then your mind start getting on board, your body start getting on board, your heart start getting on board. You will be working in connection with your spirit, with your divine power, and you start recognizing that's actually the truth, that you keep tuning to your inner wisdom, and trusting more of yourself, trusting more of your inner power, your source power, to be led with that, and having more of that personal relation with yourself and with your power, and be of truer service to others, human being, to show yourself as that example that it's possible for them. Sometimes, like I mentioned, it doesn't take long with kids, with us, even adults, like I mentioned in that example of a friend, and picking on certain clues and certain words. It doesn't take behaviors. Like I even saw when taking care of my mom, who's attempting to recover from her health conditions that somehow kick her in the rear a bit. And I've been kind of observing and spending more time together. And when we were doing some physical therapies, and even see some other elderly in like a group settings and stuff, they saw like kids pronto, like what the instructor's showing, they just copy. I copy whatever it's shown, even if for my mom, like for example, was the language barrier. But there's a lot of universal language, and we were even talking to some other caregiver, the nurses and CNAs in where she was staying at the facility, rehabilitation facility, for like about 20 days. That when I wasn't around to help with translation, she was able to communicate. She, after so many years being in US, she knows certain words, and she knows the names for those words, and some kind of body language for certain things uh, or pointing to certain things, or even with that physical therapy, just copying whatever instructor and physical therapist was doing, or to that's kind of was amazing to observe. And I've been in a kids settings when I was actually assisting teacher, and become co-teaching for many years, and 3 and 4 year old, and they also very much copycats. When you show them through some music, through some songs, through some movements. That's how we were actually learning Polish language. I was in a Saturday Polish school, and through some words, play in a playful environment, and they were like a SpongeBob's, like a sponge, taking that in, and picking that very quickly. So that's kind of the power of that, allowing that unconditional gift of heaven to experience on a daily basis, and not pushing yourself to eventually earning that when you transition to the other realm, but experience that on a daily basis. And yes, it might not be there yet 24/7. However, the more evidence you start creating for yourself, and getting your mind and heart and body and spirit on, your spirit will actually come when your mind, when you start more operating more in connection with your mind, your heart, and your body, in cohesive state. The spirit is also feel more ready to support you, because you will feel that present. You will feel more of your own presence, and presence of your source power, your spirit, your divine, your God, in a deeper sense, and will be able and trusting more of your intuition to access your inner wisdom, and moving through life and living your legacy in a different matter, not just relying on some conditions, on what other expectation, what other telling you to do, when they many times also been raised in those conditions, and came to that things have to be a certain way, and many times afraid to question that authority, and not taking into consideration that there is a possibility that those challenges can become the blessings. And the more evidence you start tangibly showing yourself, you start getting more on board with your mind, with your body, and with your heart, and in that cohesive state, and allowing the spirit to work through you, and operating from that source power, and using your voice. You not only start living with your true potential, but also becoming an example and role model for others, that it's possible for them. You don't even have to do a lot to start to really live that authentically, your legacy, for others to start picking when it start resonating, when it start landing for them, that you actually doing walking your talk, and not just talking for talking, and not applying that to your daily life, but practicing that on a daily basis. And you will start experience that evidence of those blessings and miracles, and others will start picking on that, because they're usually, it's a co-creation in those blessings and miracles, that the divine intervention is showing up, and to show you that you're not alone, that you are protected, that you are provided, that you loved unconditionally, and it's an amazing feeling to experience. And even yesterday, I believe, yes, or the day before, I experienced such a flood of love and gratefulness and bliss that I experienced, and it's an amazing experience to be able to feel such a lightness, and such a gratitude, so much love, that it's even hard to describe when it's come without some conditions, when you see that possibly you are going through some challenges, and you possibly even start putting some prayers and asking your source power, your God, to for support, and that started finally happening in that divine timing. It's becoming really amazing, and it cannot be even described differently than a really true blessing. And you start recognizing that you are truly blessed, and that feels like a miracle, because it's hard to describe, it's hard to explain in the logical sense, that things kind of happening in very beautiful and synchronistic way in your life. And the more you're allowing those moments, the more you can experience that and practice more of that, and living your legacy, but also showing others that's the possibility. And the practical steps of it is it takes some efforts, when like I had mentioned, I've been mentioning about some practical steps of that copycat examples. So paying, I think the practicality of it is start paying more attention, especially when you start experiencing. I believe all of us had some opportunity to experience even one miracle or blessing in our life, and start realizing and putting even more focus. That's another part, like what you focus on expense with your mind, and start recognizing that there is a possibility for you to experience, and all of a sudden you start experiencing more of that. You start coming with the evidence, you bringing that energetically to yourself, that the experiences are different when you stuck yourself with the challenge and not recognizing. And it's easy to really, some challenges can be very detrimental and very hard to remember that those things are the keys and the doorways to opening your door to a beautiful blessing, and could be very challenging to somehow convince your mind, open your body and open your heart to experience that, because you feel you will never be able to get yourself out of that challenge. You might be questioning yourself and your ability, and that's usually, it's really sinking quickly, like in a quicksand, when you getting to those points, and putting even more focus, you can really get yourself very deeply questioning your identity, questioning your wholeness, questioning your worth, questioning the love to yourself, and we'll be looking, actually start looking for that evidence, and it will show up too, that evidence that you're not worthy, that you not love, that others don't care about you, and then it will start even sealing more, where you will be really feeling very overwhelmed, that start the more of that focus can become very overwhelming when you start experience those things, that you all of a sudden believe yourself that you're not lovable, that nobody care about you, and you're not worth to receive those unconditional gifts and experience those blessings, miracles, that you can live in heaven on earth on a daily basis, and keep practicing that, and expanding more to that, than overwhelming yourself and proving the opposite, that you cannot do that, because the mind is very powerful thing, and the way you choose, it's your actually choice, which way you want to go. You want to keep pushing yourself and going through hell, or actually when those challenges coming, you start recognizing that they are blessing in disguise, and start returning back to your center, to your wholeness, to proving to yourself that it's the possibility to experience your blessing, and releasing some of that pressure and tension in your mind, in your body, in your heart, and opening to receive those blessings, and experiencing that physical heaven, when it feels so tangible in that esoteric term of heaven that we many times been kind of raised that it can be really experienced in on earth, in a very tangible way, that it's felt, that is experienced through the whole body, and that can open your heart, that can open your mind, can open even wider your eyes, and become a true blessing for you, and you can share those blessings with the others. That's the whole idea, to share those unconditional gifts with the others, so more people are awakened to their potential, so they're not living in those conditions that are becoming so detrimental to their well-being. And this channel is about health and wealth, and they either pushing themselves to accumulate that wealth through conditions and giving up on their health, or they hoping that that maybe the wealth will kind of get them to a more healthier state, and it's never ending story when somehow they not recognizing that that the health is wealth, and that you can actually be much more successful when you standing in your power and using your voice and operating from your wholeness than just a fraction of and pushing yourself and striving and performing, and all of a sudden you breaking yourself down and don't know what else to do because you feel like you at the end of the rope, and don't know how to move forward with that. And that usually it's at the beginning, accepting that you're not alone, that you get to drop the conditions, that the gift of heaven is unconditional and waiting for you to claim it, to open yourself to that possibility. And that's some of those practicality. And some other practical steps that I would love to share is finding that time to yourself, and keep getting your mind, your body, and heart on board in the morning, instead of rushing to push and striving to spend time with yourself, to experience your presence, to connect with yourself and with your source power. And throughout the day as well, to keep reminding yourself that it's the possibility, you are worthy to create that connection, those present moments, to go outside, to spend some time alone, that you never alone, but that experiencing that presence and connection to yourself and with your spirit is necessary to be able to go out there, and especially with a lot of that disconnect with a lot of people, that many of us struggling in that still those conditions, and thinking that there is no way out of those conditions, and keep closing those doors instead of opening to the blessings and possibilities, because they feel that it's beyond them. So they already recognize that it's beyond them, but the acceptance that's beyond them, and letting that go, and trusting and open themselves to the possibility of receiving that unconditional gift, and feeling that they worthy, that they loved and they supported and protected and provided, is the other part. But it's so necessary to start experience more of that physical heaven, and having more of those miracles and blessings on a daily basis, and not just leaving them for somebody else. Maybe when you transition to the other realm, maybe you will end up in heaven, or maybe then you will feel that blessing or the miracle that will happen, because on earth it's not possibility. It is very possible. It's how you start recognizing, how you start opening yourself and awakening. And especially in the mid-age, for us women, visionary and heart center women, we get to keep dropping more of that mental realms, and dropping them to our hearts, and creating that cohesion between our mind, our heart, and our body, to really stand truly in our source power and using our voice, not just making difference for ourselves, but also difference for others. And I so passionate of co-creating that truthful immunity in the community, to create more of that unity and expanding our presence and in authentic and honest and hopeful and joyful ways that can be practiced. Like a lot of masterminds, they usually kind of focus on your mind so much, they're not having a lot of focus on the heart. I am a visionary woman and would love to introduce more, and there are some definitely for sure more of the heart center women that co-creating together some beautiful heart mastery and not just focusing on their mind. But I believe there is space for more of those practices and more of those communities where we can really keep putting more of that practice of a heavenly experience on earth, that it's not something that has to be earned, but it's given, and start claiming more of that and expanding together that presence and be of support to each other and co-creating some beautiful experience and rippling that from our hearts to others in our environments, and being that role model, living our legacy. So inviting you to connect when you feel that there is a resonance, to experience, to come together to those experiences. So reach out, connect. You can also for more resources and to actually connect, can schedule time, awaken-women.com, where there's connection links. There are blog posts on a weekly basis about the topics of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual words that are been entrusted through my inner wisdom, my intuition, my spirit, to that leading. I'm allowing more and more to be led, to share those words with the others that will lend, that will bring more of that empowerment to other, especially women in their mid-age, when their power is already rising and they don't know what to do about it. So I'm happy to co-create with you. So feel free to reach out, and let's co-create together some amazingness and make that real difference and live our legacies on a daily basis, and experience that true power of the physical heaven and beyond, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and feeling at home and feeling so good in our bodies, in our mind, in our hearts, and how powerful it is to co-create with our spirits. So anyhow, without further ado, sending so much love, joy, peace, light, and compassion to you, my dears, and looking forward to see you around. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. The more the merrier. Feel free to share about your experience if there's something in resonance with the message that I'm sharing here. So looking forward to checking your comments, and if there's some possible questions that you have, happy to address them as well. And subscribe to be notified when some new content is coming. So far it's on a weekly basis that I'm coming live here to bring some sharings from my own experiences, from my heart to yours, something that will inspire and empower you, and looking for creating more of the connections with you, and through offering also some beautiful experience and more intimate settings where we could co-create together some amazingness and expand our presence, and get build that immunity for that disconnection and manipulation and control, and tuning more into that connections with ourselves and with our spirit. So take care for now, and see you soon.